Former Empire star Jussie Smollett went to prison after that crazy hoax a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where he said he was a victim of a hate crime. Then come to find out he hired people to beat him up and put a noose on his neck and pour bleach on him and all this.
Do we know why he did all that? Was it just for the attention and this, because he still says he's not guilty. I saw when he got sentenced to jail. He got sentenced to jail basically,
which for 150 days.
It's not prison; it's jail, which is a lot lighter than prison, I think.
Yeah.
But I believe he's even maintained to the very end that he is innocent.
He did, and then he was, saying if I found dead in prison, it wasn't me. I'm not suicidal. They right away put him on suicide watch. I don't know
because was he making a reference of the Jeffrey Epstein thing?
Yes.
Like he didn't want. A lot of people say they don't want to get Epstein, meaning that they think that wasn't a suicide. They think
yes,
right?
Yeah.
It was a murder.
Yeah, they think they're murdered. So they're like, if I die in prison, it looks like a suicide. It's not. I got murdered. So he was yelling all that out before he went. And so he's like 150 days in prison. It's been like 3 or 4. He's already out.
That's shocking.
Yeah, and there may be more to it. We do have our official attorney, Lisa Lanier, on the show. Good morning, Lisa.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's because his sentence is so short, 150 days, and because he's appealing the conviction, the judge issued what's called a stay of the sentence, of the serving of the sentence, which just means it's like paused for the appeal to happen, because the reasoning is if he's going to serve the 150 days while doing his appeal, he will have already been punished, even though maybe he gets his punishment taken away on appeal. So they're just saying, look, let's just hit pause, let him do his appeal. Then if he loses and he goes to jail, then he'll serve his sentence.
Because basically, if he won his appeal, he already served his term, correct?
Exactly. That's the part of it that allowed him to get the stay.
Because I'm assuming that if you say you were going to jail for a couple of years, then you would do the appeal, and that would be all counted towards a term. It would be all counted towards a term if you lost the appeal. Correct?
Right, okay. Exactly.
So,
and, there's other factors involved. He's never committed any kind of violent crime or any crime at all, I don't think. And then he also, they just basically said, he had to post a pretty hefty, I think, $150,000 cash bond, and, just to make sure he would stick around. And I don't think he was any kind of risk to repeat any kind of offense here. So they said, look, let him out. Sometimes they let people out on appeal on bond, from go, and they just didn't do that in this case. So he just got a kind of a do-over on that.
What do you think his chances, Lisa, are of winning the appeal?
It seemed like the evidence was pretty strong against him, that he had set this up. He swears he's innocent, and I don't know what grounds he has for appealing. Usually the grounds for appeal has more to do with procedural errors on the part of the judge than it does factual errors. Usually it's not just, hey, they got the facts wrong, because facts, aren't really supposed to be reinterpreted unless there's just a glaring miscarriage of justice, like, evidence was hidden that would have exonerated him or something. So I don't know that he has a great chance of winning, but they are giving him that shot. And then if he loses, he will have to go serve out that sentence.
And we're talking about Jussie Smollett for the record.
From the Empire. So he'd have to go back to prison to finish the 150 days. I guess he'd get out. He can get out early for good behavior. And then I think he's on probation for like 50 months. So if he commits any other crime, is that correct, that he would then have to go to jail for 50 months?
Yeah, that's right. And that would be a much more significant sentence. And they say that he's in a cushy, like Jason said, he's in a pretty cushy situation in jail. He claims that he's in solitary confinement. But what is the reality is that I think because, like you said, he sort of started screaming, I'm not suicidal, whatever. He's in the psych ward, actually, of the jail.
Well, yeah, I heard that his brother had something to do with that originally. I could have read it wrong, but his brother originally said he was worried about Jussie about it. So because of that statement, they put him in the psych ward. But then his brother was like, no, let's try to get him out because Jussie Smollett. I say his name wrong.
Jussie, it's fine. It's a weird name.
Jussie Smollett basically was when he had to go to sleep, they were confining him to the bed, which would be the worst thing on earth. So they were trying to get him out of the psych ward. So I don't know where. And I do know, let me ask you, Lisa, is jail not as bad as prison?
That's correct. Usually jail is. Now, sometimes the conditions in certain jails are not great because of overcrowding. They tend to be more crowded than prisons, but they tend to house less dangerous offenders and people who are serving shorter nonviolent sentences. So it's usually considered a sort of a lighter, safer place to be. but not always if the conditions are poor and overcrowded. But I think where he is a pretty good situation.
I got you. Yeah, I've seen 60 Days In when they're in jail. That show,
yeah.
the quote-unquote reality show, and there's some sketchy stuff going on there. But yeah, it's but I've also seen like Locked Away or whatever.
And that's prison.
Oh, and that's like... It's like they're just screaming all the time. It's always screaming. Everyone's just screaming all the time. I'm like,
very fearful. I'm very fearful of jail and prison.
I think I would just get naked right away and just lay down and say, "Go ahead."
They'd probably still avoid
They'll
you.
be like, "No, thank you."
Then I'd be insulted, you know. My ego, like, really, no one wants this.
After the episode in your diaper where the back fat was showing, they're like,
No,
I'd rather tear up squid.
You'd be the hot meat in there, Jason.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? Part of me is like, all right, cool. At least I got something.
Thank you for the compliment.
I wonder if there are some guys in prison that, you know, they're like, really, no one wants me? They don't want that to happen to them. They're like, really? No, my cellmate? Yeah, everyone wants him, I guess. 'Cause the male ego's, I don't care where you go.
Yeah.
I think you conform to wherever you're at. It's bizarre. Speaking of bizarre, he's a legendary singer. It's my mom. That's how legendary singer he is, how long he's been around. Her first concert when she was a teenager was Rod Stewart. And he's in a little bit of trouble. If you're not as...
He's in trouble?
Well, kind of. He's not going to go to jail or anything. Well, we'll ask our official attorney. But if you're not as familiar, you're like, who's Rod Stewart?
Someone
Here's a little
like
bit of
you
his songs.
makes it hard to live without somebody else. Have I told
Probably his most famous, right?
Oh, yeah, no,
One
that's
of them. Maggie May.
Yeah.
first cut is the deepest. Wake up,
There it is.
lady, I think I got something to say to you. Stay with me to where it's
So, Lisa, he's in a little bit of trouble because in his, I guess, neighborhood, he was filling potholes on his road because he wanted his Ferrari to not have to hit the potholes.
Yeah, I saw the photo.
on.
It was literally so his road. I was like,
That's great.
where is he living?
Right.
The potholes were awful. They really were.
Like
Yeah.
huge holes.
They
I
really
couldn't
were.
believe it. And he had an entire truck with a
He
vest
hired the
on.
whole crew.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he was
Yeah.
doing it, which I thought was shocking. I think he must be making a point saying how bad the potholes were.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, he had complained many times to the Essex County government about the potholes, and he said, you know, his Ferrari couldn't safely navigate the potholes near his home. And then what really just was the straw that broke the camel's back is an ambulance was coming down his street to get somebody, and they blew a tire in one of the potholes. And, you know, he's 77 years old. I think he was kind of doing the math on this and being like, they're going to be coming for me before too long, you know, and I want it to be safe, you know, out here. So he and some of his friends hired, you know, they hired like a dump truck and this like gravel mixture that they could fill it in. And they had the yellow vests on and the caution signs. And it was pretty funny. I put a picture of it on my Lanier Law Group Instagram and Facebook because he's out there looking like a real road crew guy. But the issue is twofold. Number one, so the government has come out and said about Sir Rod Stewart that, number one, please don't do this at home. You know, they're like, don't follow this guy's footsteps because they said it's not safe to be out there on the road. You know, you can get hit because, you know, construction workers on the highways get hit all the time, road construction crews. And the other thing is they said that you might actually do more harm than good. You might actually further damage because you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And you might create a situation where, because a lot of these pothole situations come because of like freeze and thaw, you know, from season to season, and the water gets under there. And so if you create a situation that traps more water, then it's going to freeze and make it even worse. So they just said, hey, you know, and then you could be liable to the government. They're not going to come arrest him or anything. But he's won here because they've gotten so much attention because of this. They've already got him on the schedule. His street is getting repaved in April. So he won.
Unreal.
So he did what he had to do to get the attention to
Yeah.
get his street
Yeah.
done.
Exactly.
But my thought is
He
like,
could. I'm guessing he's not on Twitter, Jason. If he had just tweeted about it,
Yeah.
then it got viral, then they could have done it. But anyway, he went on the
I
street and did it
believe
himself.
though he is so rich. I
Yes.
mean, this guy is so rich. He could have probably hired a construction crew, the real deal, and have done it. And maybe have gotten permission and really fix the potholes. I mean, it looked like he did hire a crew, but like make it so it's done correctly because he has millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. It must be odd living in a horrible street like that with a mansion in the background.
That's true. I guess he's on TikTok. It says this is a TikTok video at Sir Rod Stewart.
So Rod.
So he is on all the social media. I
Rod.
thought maybe he didn't.
He is
wasn't.
on social media, yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was skipping the social media thing. That's why no one knew about it. But he's on there too. Well, it's a very interesting story. Rod Stewart filling the own potholes in his own neighborhood and street.
Potholes, I'm filling them up. Potholes, they damage my hubs. Potholes out in front of my house and my Ferrari.
That's the best Rod Stewart
It's a
impression.
terrible Rod Stewart.
That's fantastic.
My
More like
gosh.
Steven Tyler or something like that. But as always, official attorney of Jared. Sorry you had to hear that. I know you went to law
No,
school
that's
and all that
great.
stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, you don't need to hear that terrible impression. She's great. Official attorney of Jared and Katie. The morning you were injured on the job. Contact her right away at hireaheavyweight.com.